For today's episode of Florida Roadside Attractions and Abandoned Places, we begin on Highway 92, heading towards Lakeland, Florida. And we begin this video with this abandoned homestead, this house that sits right off of 92. Look at this place. Wide open. Old chair just sitting there. It's painted yellow. It's got a screen door. All the windows appear to be busted out. Looks like a sunroom over there. It's got that old tile. Let's peek through the window. Hello? Oh, wow. Oh my gosh. Ugh, that's disgusting. It's got the old panel walls. Hello? Mother Nature currently taking a toll on this place. Here's the sun porch. Ew. Gross. Door's open. Who remembers this old linoleum tile? Not gonna go too far in. Take a peek. There's an old toy car in here. Hello. Oh yeah, this smells great, guys. Check this out. It's the backyard. There's an old shed back there. Someone just stuck like a knife into the ground. Just randomly. That's weird. Kind of spooky. Alright, this is definitely, out of all the abandoned places I've seen, this is definitely the most disgusting. There might be people living in here occasionally, if you know what I mean. There's an old relic here, also on Highway 92. Looks like it was an old convenience store or perhaps a gas station at some point. Mother Nature taking a toll. Windows boarded up. This qualifies. I like stuff like this. Now an old Tampa highway just south of 92. These apartments caught my eye not too far back. These are fairly new. Check out the paintings. All the way down the front face of this apartment. Something you don't see every day. I don't know if it's all the way done. See, some of them are black and white. I don't know if they're gonna fill that in. This is really unique. See a crane, I saw a swan. All these birds are flying towards Lakeland. I'm just gonna show you the whole thing. All the way down the front side of these brand new apartments. There's more apartments than people in these apartments right now. I think they just opened. Yeah, here you go, the swan. You know anything about Lakeland, it's all about the swan. And we have entered Lakeland. Technically, we are here. This abandoned office place is cool, but the only reason I stopped here is because, check this out. This is going to be the main subject matter today. I'm going to zoom in for you. One of the most unique water towers in the land of the USA. The Publix birthday cake, 3-tier water tower with candles. Water tower sits right here on Highway 92 among Publix grocery store HQ. Welcome back to Florida Roadside Attractions and Abandoned Places. I am Tampa J, and today we're going to go to the first ever Publix supermarket, which is not located in Lakeland. Even though all their corporate stores are here, their factories, their bake shop, I'm going to show you all that stuff. I'm going to show you all the Publix stuff. If you're a fan of this grocery, I hope you enjoy this video. Publix will turn 95 on September 6th, 2025. Coming up on 100 years. That's amazing. And we're going to go to the very first store that opened in 1930. Their slogan is Publix, where shopping is a pleasure. And I tell you what, it is one of the cleanest, nicest grocery stores I have ever had the opportunity to shop in. It is always very tidy, very flush. They take pride in cleanliness. And also, I heard it's a great company to work for. We're going to check out some spots here in Lakeland as far as Publix, some other things as well. And then we're going to head over to Winter Haven. And to get there, we just head east on 92. Eventually, we have to turn right. Uh-oh, I'm vlogging here. There's much ahead. All right, check this out. Publix Gate 9, no truck or traffic. Just kind of stroll on by here, show you what's going on. This is the Publix headquarters. This is directly underneath the water tower. And back there you can see some of the Publix trucks. There's a lot of stuff going on back there. All right, so I stopped. This is the south side of 92. This is the Publix bakery. It does smell a little bready out here. Check out all the trucks. Big complex. Goes all the way back there, and then across the street is the birthday cake. And look at this. It literally sits right on the edge of the town of Lakeland. They got the welcome to Lakeland sign right here before the Publix cake. That's cool. There's a postcard for you. And over there, it looks like their Publix truck service or fleet station. That's where they work on all the green Publix trucks. I can see them coming in and out of the bay. Yeah, this is their main distribution center. Their corporate office is off of the Polk Parkway, just a little north of here. I pass it all the time when I'm on the Polk Parkway. It's a big green glass building. That's where the president of Publix lives. Rest his head. He lives there all the time, like 24/7. No, I don't know. As we're heading into Lakeland, I'm showing you more Publix stuff across the street. But check this out. I believe this is an abandoned McDonald's. Closed up. Look at this. It definitely has that McDonald's shape. It's got the McDonald's tile. This is 1937 George Jenkins Road. It's got a little courtyard out here. I think this is where the play place used to be. The old sign. Look at that. It's definitely got that McDonald's shape. I can just see it right there. Looks like it's all boarded up. Maybe I'm gonna peek through that little window there. It's all dark. Can't see anything. It came around the backside. No evidence that it's a McDonald's, but it looks like it. Check this out. This is where the drive-through sign used to sit. Right there. All right, so I just caught that on a whim. The reason I stopped right here on this corner is because across 92 here, aka George Jenkins Boulevard, you have the original Publix corporate offices. Now they have newer offices. I think they still utilize these, but these are pretty old. You can see back there, it's a very old building, very mid-century, but they've got trucks coming in and out of here too. This is also their chart warehouse. Not so sure what that stands for, but all the way down 92 west of Lakeland it's basically all owned by Publix, and this is considered gate 1. So corporate gate 1 all the way down to gate 9. Chiquita Banana. And check this out. Behind the Save-A-Lot, tucked away, is gate number 6 for Publix. They've got buildings everywhere. Looks like the cabinet shop. Okay, so this is where they build cabinets. It's a well-oiled machine. They've got a lot of work to do. All the way over the southeast portion of the United States. I can only imagine. Stop looking at me, swan. So you're probably wondering, why are swans a thing here in Lakeland, Florida? Well, that's because back in the day, when I say the day, back in, I think it was like the 40s or the 50s, the Queen of England donated some of her famous swans, and the swans were brought all the way here to Lakeland, Florida, among the downtown lakes. And that same family of swans are still here today. That's why there's such a thing. You can actually go downtown to the lakes and see the queen swans. So they embrace the swan. The swan to Lakeland is like the flamingo to Florida. You could probably see this in the background. It's right behind the swan. Check this beauty out. This is one of the original Publix stores of Lakeland, Florida. Now a county tax collector. In Florida, the tax collector is our DMV. This is where you come to get your license, your license plate. I don't know why, but they call it the tax collector. That was kind of different from someone that was born in Indiana. We just called it the DMV. But they do all that stuff here for you. So this would be the city of Lakeland or Polk County's DMV. It's a beautiful building. You can definitely see it used to be a grocery store. It's still got the Publix green. And what is really cool, it's got some tile work. This is a very kind of 1940s, 1950s vintage mid-century building. It's the ultimate Publix shape. I would call this a mural or a mosaic, maybe both. We've got the Buccaneers. It being so close, we being so close to Tampa Bay, it's embracing the pirate theme. They're getting the buried treasure. There's oranges on the tree, very pretty, palm trees, birds. This could be Jose Gaspar for all we know. Also, it looks like, yeah, conquistadors. And this is the north side of the door. Oh, wow. I see some cool things. Look at this. Flamingo. Man, I love my flamingos. There's all kinds of things up here. Very Florida stuff. Fish. A lot of food. Of course, it was a grocery store. I see tomatoes. I see lobster. Oh, down here, dedicated by Jenkins and Fancilli families. Now, Jenkins, we were just on Jenkins Boulevard. Very pretty mural. Even got the cypress trees in here. Very Florida. All right, so we're gonna head over to Winter Haven, to the original Publix stores. I was just texting my friend Greg from Greg's Game Room. He's a resident of Winter Haven. I gave him a heads up I was coming. Don't know if I'll be able to see him today. I gave him late notice. Sorry about that, Greg. But he was saying there's a couple locations in Winter Haven that serve as the original Publix complex, not just one location. So thanks for the heads up, Greg. We'll check all that out. Okay, since I was passing by here, still on 92, I had to revisit the original Red Lobster restaurant. Yes, the original. This was the very first Red Lobster in America. It began right here in Lakeland, Florida. This is my third time here. I've done a whole video on that subject matter. It's now a bait and tackle shop called Lakeland Fishing Outfitters. You can definitely see this used to be a Red Lobster, and it is the very first one. Since we're on the topic of original, it fits. This used to be the old sign, by the way. Many of people who watched that old video, a lot of them commented in that video. I'll put a link in the description below if you want to watch that after. But here at the original Red Lobster, there was a lot of people that have a lot of memories still to this day. It wasn't too long ago this used to be a Red Lobster. Not a lot of people knew it was the first one right here in Lakeland, Florida. Highway 92. Winter Haven, that way. All right, guys, now welcome to Auburndale, Florida. This is literally the first Publix grocery store I've seen since I started this video. And I tell you what, this is not your typical looking Publix either. This looks like it used to be like an office. Never seen one quite like this one. 606 Highway 92, Auburndale. So the grocery stores in Florida do not sell liquor inside the stores, but most Publix, most grocery stores have liquor stores that are attached. Here's a Publix liquor store right over here too. One thing I really love about Publix is their bakery and deli. The sandwiches and the cakes. I think that's a lot of people's favorites. They have a really good bakery, specifically for wedding cakes and events. I've eaten a few, not a few, I've eaten many Publix birthday cakes over the years and wedding cakes. Also, I wish I was young enough to ride one of these things. All right, I got my little basket here. Starting off in the produce. We've got the organic section, which in many Publixes, is it Publixes or Publi? There is like a mister that goes off every 10 minutes or so. Tomatoes, the tomatoes look good right now. Looks like they're, oh yeah, these are Florida tomatoes in season. If I had to guess, these are probably coming from Homestead down south. These look really good. Fresh produce. And I've bought many of greeting cards, birthday cards, flowers over the years at Publix. Their floral section, always really fresh. Also got some cool wacky balloons up here, birthday balloons. Anytime that I have needed to go to the pharmacy, specifically after doctor visits, if I needed medication, Publix has always been my pharmacy because they offer free, get this, free antibiotics. They're free, absolutely free. No matter what insurance you have, as long as you have the insurance, most of the time they're free. I will say this, Publix is not the most inexpensive place to shop. It is known to be a little pricier, but if you're a BOGO's fan like I am, you save a lot of money, especially for the items that you love. Always cashing in on the BOGOs. And look how shiny the floor is, how clean, how neat the aisles is. This is definitely the nicest grocery store I've ever shopped at, and Publix is known for that. They take pride in cleanliness, and they take pride in their service. It's like old school Walt Disney World here. All the Publix workers approach you, ask you how your day's going. Overly kind, I'd say. Some people think that's annoying, but I think that's awesome. It reminds me of another time. They are definitely old school. This Publix is set up a little differently than the traditional Publix. The bakery is on the other side. This is the Publix Bakery, established in 1957 on that sign up there. I smell fresh bread. I love their bread here, I love their cakes, and also Publix Deli is down there to the right. Later, I will get lunch at Publix. Not this one, I'm not so sure. After we visit the original Publix, I'm gonna go get a pub sub. If you don't know what a pub sub is, well, that stands for Publix sandwich. And as I was exiting right here in the breezeway, Mr. George taught us what it means to serve our customers and help our communities. We're committed to continuing his legacy every day. And that, my friend, I'm putting it together, founder of Publix, George Jenkins. Kind of reminds me of Walt Disney a little bit. Might be the mustache. All right, out in front of this Publix here in Auburndale, I had to come over and see this. This is Lake Blue Drive and Havendale. Across the street, this old Haviland oil change station has a unique feature. There is a truck on its roof with the hood up. Looks like an old Nissan or maybe Mazda, can't really tell. Old yellow truck, that's cool. Right here on Highway 92, of course. Had to show that, yeah, right in front of this Publix. Okay, although I've lived in Florida almost 21 years, this is my very first time in downtown Winter Haven. And it looks like they're having some sort of a Saturday market out here, as they do in a lot of small towns around America on Saturday mornings. Look at this. Up ahead somewhere is the first Publix. Yeah, this looks nice. A lot of vendors out here. Okay, I am parked. Sign says, right when I got out of my car here, it says, welcome to Winter Haven. Century 21. My dad used to work for that company. Check this out. El Olivo Mexican restaurant. Love me some Tex-Mex. All right, so I'm headed to the first Publix building, which is a little to my right, but it's my first time here in Winter Haven, and I'm also waiting for a friend to get here, so I'm gonna go check out this old theater. Whoa, Ritz Theater. Historic arcade. Arcade, not what you're thinking, 80s kids, but an arcade used to be like a strip mall back in the day. Check this out, not open yet, but a lot of shops in here, even an ice cream shop. Really cool. The Ritz Theater. Check it out. I see Jake and Elwood Blues, the Blues Brothers, in the window. Okay, I gotta go check this out. There's a historic plaque over here. Love me some old theaters. All right, so I'm walking up to the theater. In the window right here, this is a photograph of where we are. This is Central Avenue. Back in the day. Check out all the Ford Model Ts. So this was right out here. There's also another picture of the Ritz Theater, Central Avenue. Okay, yeah. So there's the old arcade across the street. Here's the Ritz Theater. This is this building right here. Looks a lot different today, different angle. And across the way, there's the old arcade in really good shape. And then Jake and Elwood, the Blues Brothers, in the windows. Country and Western. We got both kinds. I love me some Blues Brothers. You can kind of see Elwood there through the glass. And then over here, underneath the marquee, the entrance to the theater, looks like this has been redone. They have a historic plaque. At this site on January 19th, 1925, whoa! 100 years ago, F.E. Williamson opened the Williamson Theater. Landowners W.H. Mann and A.S. Beamer, or Beimer, could be Beimer, could be Beamer, hired Tampa architect B.C. Bonfoy and Seymour Craig of Winter Haven to build this theater. Designed in the Spanish colonial revival style, the theater featured 1,000 opera chairs upholstered with imitation Spanish leather, an orchestra pit, and Robert Morgan pipe organ, and a 16 by 40 foot stage, and a 15 by 20 foot screen. A silent film by D.W. Griffith, Isn't Life Wonderful?, was the first movie ever shown here. And it says in 1932, the theater was renovated, renamed the Ritz, and reopened on January 19th with speeches, vaudeville acts, and feature picture. For decades, the Ritz served as a meeting venue for the Central Florida citrus industry, where many Orange Festival queens were crowned, and as the stage for community events. That's really cool. All right, folks. You wouldn't know it, but this right here on Central Avenue, this building, is the very first Publix. Check out the ice block up here. Looks very similar, but a lot smaller to the one we just saw over in Lakeland, which is currently the tax collector. Whoa. It looks like it's an antique store. No, it's a thrift store. St. Matthew Thrift Gift Shop. And I believe this church right here, First Baptist Church, maybe. No, wait, this is a Baptist church. I think St. Matthew is a Catholic church. But it is owned by a church and across from a church. So I'm going to approach over here. It looks like there's a plaque on the east side of the building. Holy cow, look at this. The original Publix tile. The first Publix store. That is so cool. The oldest Publix font in the world. Haha. Right. Gotta be, right? Alright, I think it was a little off. It says 1940. I read that it started in 1930. Okay, hold on. Getting far ahead of myself. George W. Jenkins, remember that name? Opened the first public food store in Winter Haven in 1930. 5 years later, he opened a second location in town. He closed these first two stores to open his dream store, the first Publix supermarket, on this site November 8, 1940. Jenkins combined the most advanced elements of U.S. food retailing with his own ideas to create a supermarket unlike any before. It featured air conditioning, fluorescent lighting, and frozen food cases. The interior decor of pastel colors, beautiful terrazzo tile, and soft music created a pleasant atmosphere for shoppers. The store's crowning glory was its electric eye door, an amenity that exceeded the innovation of what any other retail food company was offering at the time. It was called a food palace of marble, glass, and stucco. Publix operated here until 1957, when it was replaced by a new store in Winter Haven. That's amazing. So, from the very beginning, they were innovators and always known as a beautiful place to shop. Beautiful in the sense of just being clean and good looking is what I'm reading on the sign. So this store actually opened in 1940, and it is the first Publix supermarket. And here's the side of the original Publix store. It does like an L shape out this way. This very well could have been some of the very first offices of Publix. I'm going to just go out on a limb. I'm going to say that George Jenkins' office was probably in this building back in 1940. And this is the west side of the Publix store, the side. Check this out. On the original Publix building, this mural. Jesus and Mary right in the center. This is awesome. And here's the back alley. Whoa. So right here among these doors, the original loading docks of the former Publix grocery. The very first Publix groceries in and out of these doors. That's really cool. I'm also going to call this not only the first Publix, but the holy Publix. This is sacred ground. Look at that. That's cool. My friend's almost here. All right, guys. So I told you he was coming. Former employee of Publix. I forgot about that until you mentioned it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so have you told everybody that this is not actually the first Publix store? Oh, this is the first Publix store, but not the first
Yeah,
Publix.
I found that out on the sign.
Yeah.
Even though it says on the map it's the first one.
Right. Well, I'll show you where the real first one is, right around the corner.
I like that you're wearing your Publix green, too.
Well, you know what? I also have another surprise for you. Here, check this out.
Oh, cool.
These are my actual aprons from when I worked at Publix.
Oh, that's amazing.
So back in the day, what you had to do was you had to wear these aprons like this.
That's amazing. You wore that to work.
I wore these to work. Yeah,
That's cool.
Long time ago. Yep. I don't have my name tag anymore, but you know, there were just the basic white name tags with like, remember the little plastic stencil things that you punch out?
Yes,
That's what they used to use for that. But
so is the Publix store you worked at in Winter Haven?
I actually worked at the one in Lake Wales.
Oh, okay.
Before they tore it down.
Oh, it's
and
gone.
They rebuilt it. But this is like back in '86 to '89 is when I worked there.
Okay.
So, yep, original.
That's really cool. I'm glad you brought those.
Kept these all these years, just so they could be on your vlog someday.
There you go. Little did we know. All right.
I can recognize it better if I'm over on the other side.
Okay, so Greg is trying to determine.
There's a sign, right?
Okay, this is the very first Publix. And now welcome to the very first Publix. That's cool. That's confusing. It does say on Google that that one is the first.
Yeah, but that's the first store that they built, but this is actually the first location where they started operations.
George W. Jenkins, founder of Publix Supermarkets Incorporated, was born September 29th, 1907 in Harris City, Georgia. At the age of 17, he came to Florida and took a job as a food store clerk in Tampa. Look at that. In 1930, he decided to open his own store. He rented space at 58 4th Street, Northwest Winter Haven, and called his business Publix Food Store. And the rest is history, right? He got the idea for the name from the Publix Theater movie chain. Whoa, I had no idea.
Yeah, I just read that myself too. I was like, where did the name Publix come from? But from a movie theater? That's interesting.
Well, that ties in. I love movie theaters. We all love movie theaters. He operated it here until 1940, and then he went right down the street and opened the first supermarket.
Store, yeah.
We stopped at another Publix in Auburndale, and they had his picture in there. He kind of reminds me of Walt Disney a little bit with that stash. A little
exactly.
bit.
Yeah. He does kind of look like Disney, doesn't he?
Okay, so this is the old front.
Yep.
With pictures. This is cool. Okay, so this is an interior shot of the store we were just at. The first supermarket at 199 West Central Avenue. That was the address down there. And here's
that's the original.
Oh wow! So the sign hung right there.
Somebody's got that sign, you know, so it's got to still exist somewhere.
I hope it's in a museum.
Yeah.
A museum.
It could be in that antique store that we always go to.
It could be. It could be. And oh wow, check it out. The first Publix store is completely gutted right now. They tore out the floor. Looks like they're restoring it, hopefully. That's a unique thing to see. Didn't expect that. But welcome to the first Publix. Here's a shot of what it used to look like. Got the Satchmo playing behind us.
Yeah, you gotta use some AI to get rid of that.
Well, that's so old, I don't even think it's copyrighted anymore. All right, so I came across the street. This car's pulling out right here. This right here, boom, right there is the original Publix store.
58 4th Street, Northwest Winter Haven, Florida.
The exact address.
If you ever want to find it.
Yeah, Greg was saying that they should make it a museum.
Well, you know, they're gutting it inside. I mean, how cool would that be if they made it like an authentic Publix like it was back in the day and make it a museum so people could come in and...
I think that would be great. That would be amazing.
Revisit what it was like back then.
George Jenkins here is holding a prototype of the store floor. This store right here, the first store. Oh wow, so yeah, there's the awning right there and you walk underneath. There's the windows that are above us today. Very small. Very small.
That's like a Lego version of the of Publix.
That would be cool to recreate that in Lego.
That's a good idea. I might have to do that.
Greg likes Legos. He lives among the Lego land.
Yeah, Legoland is very close.
All right, so we're walking north of this downtown square where the festival is. We're heading this way. I'm just following the man in the green.
Yeah, there's a very interesting historical location right nearby that might be of interest.
All right. Greg was just telling me this is the Winter Haven Chamber of Commerce. Very unique design.
Let's go over here. Let me show you something real quick.
Okay, over here. Let's do it.
So if you notice the architecture here on the side of the building, it's like these slats, right? That like hold up the building. That is a trademark of one of Winter Haven's more well-known architects, Gene Leedy. And you'll see there's a plaque under here with his name on it that he created this building.
Did he also design the Publix?
I don't think he did the Publix here, but any building that you see around Florida that has this style of design, that's Gene Leedy's trademark.
That's cool. Leedy Lifetime Works Tour.
I guess you can't.
Oh, the pamphlets are gone, but there is a website.
The pamphlets are gone, but yeah, it's Gene Leedy's.
That's cool. Come and check that out. I might have to do that sometime.
You could do a whole tour on Gene Leedy buildings. Oh, there's a sign over there.
Okay, this design's awesome. Very mid-century. Winter Haven Area Chamber of Commerce and the Winter Haven Foundation. Cypress Gardens, one of the donators.
The donator.
All right, so across the way is the building that we set out to see. This is it, huh?
This is what I wanted to show you, yes.
All right, we're heading over there. There's a historic sign. Dairy Down above the door, and look at this. Graham Parsons Dairy Down. Now, before we read the sign, what do you know about Graham Parsons?
I know he was in the Byrds. He was one of the, was he the singer, the lead singer, I think, of the Byrds?
Oh, yeah. I love the Byrds.
But,
turn. Love that
yeah,
song.
but I think his father built him this building so that he could have a venue for his music.
Okay.
And it's just been here this whole time, and they've refurbished it and everything. And
Winter Haven businessman Bob Parsons opened the Dairy Down in this building, the English-themed teen club. Its primary purpose was to give his stepson, Graham Parsons, a performance venue for his folk band, the Shilohs.
There we go.
The Shilohs. The club not only provided a venue for local youth musicians, but it helped elevate Winter Haven as the destination for traveling groups in the region. The Dairy Down became part of the circuit of Florida teen centers in the 1960s that provided fledgling musicians a place to hone their skills as performances. Graham Parsons joined the American folk rock band Standard Bearers the Byrds in 1969.
And the Flying Burrito Brothers.
Whoa!
Whoa! This is one of my most famous rock band of all time.
Me too. I love that song. My favorite song on that album was, "Oh man, that cheese hurt my stomach." I don't know. I've never heard of them. That's really cool.
So
That's cool. Emmylou Harris was here.
Genre-bending solos with unknown at the time folk singer Emmylou Harris.
Died in 1973 in Joshua Tree, California, age 26. Wow, very young.
Yeah.
Almost made it to the 27. You know the 27 thing? A lot of famous people.
Oh, really? Is there a 27?
Died at 27.
Oh.
Yeah. So there you go. A little bit of history I had no idea about. And if I would have came to Winter Haven without meeting up with The Adventures by George, you remember that old channel?
Yeah.
Greg's Game Room.
It might be coming back. You never know.
Oh, okay. I'll put a link to both channels,
Okay.
Greg's channels below, just in case. But check out his channel. But yeah, thanks, Greg. This is awesome. I love music history.
The backside of Dairy Down.
The backside of Dairy Down, which is probably the loading door. This is probably where all the bands would pull up in their trailers and whatnot, in their vehicles, and load and unload into the stage area. Me being in a band a long time ago, I always like to point out where I would have loaded my drums in and out of.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. All right, so we're departing downtown Winter Haven, and we're heading to Publix. It's lunchtime.
That's how easy I get lost. My car's that way.
Publix is that way too. And now welcome to the closest Publix store that is closest to the first store in the original supermarket here at M Northwest Avenue and 6th Street. Actually, it's right on 6th Street. Greg is already inside, and the prodigal son returns to Publix.
Find a new battery?
I charged it a little bit. My camera died. I got 7%.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Gotta film
that
fast.
long of a
Yeah, my
drive.
camera died. Forgot to charge it. All right, we're in line to get a pub sub. That is short for Publix sandwich. Something I always buy here is their fried chicken. It is delicious. Specifically their hot and spicy, and also their chicken wings. I love grabbing a box of chicken wings and taking them home. Got the hot sauce that I bought at Publix. Now I love the classic chicken tender sandwich right there. I also like to do it buffalo style. Also, they're Italian with the boar's head meat. So that's something I normally get, typically get sometimes. They also have a Tex-Mex black bean burger sub and a lot of vegetarian options. What do you typically get, Greg?
I usually get the turkey.
Turkey?
But I've been thinking, like, buffalo wings. I mean, buffaloes don't fly.
Oh, yeah. There goes the ancient buffalo debate.
Dad jokes.
Yeah, I love
at
it.
you. Dad jokes.
You're in the right place. I do it a lot. Oh, we're trying the horse head Munster cheese. Cheers.
Where's Herman? Where's Herman when you need him?
I thought you were Herman. You're wearing green. This is good. Real good. As I'm waiting for my cheese to get melted on my pub sub, proudly featuring boar's head meat. They do proudly serve boar's head meat here. There's a boar's head meat factory in my hometown in Newcastle, Indiana. Wasn't always there. That's a recent thing. All right, here we go. I got my pub sub. It's gonna cost me $8.39 when I check out. Not too bad for a half. Also gonna grab a beverage. They got their Publix homemade tea and lemonade. You know they have special edition juices?
Well, I know they've got like, this is my favorite, is the mango flavored lemonade.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Also raspberry, blackberry. This is the special edition natural, how do you say that? Tamarind?
Tamarind, I think.
Apple flavored green tea with other natural flavors. Not gonna get that, but it sounds good. All right, we got it out of here. We got the small ones. You got the mango flavored, and I just got the unsweetened tea. And how much are these? These are like, they're less than $2. It doesn't say. Oh, right down there, $1.79. Not too bad. All right, now we just gotta grab the natty ice. Oh no, wait, not natty ice, chips. These are BOGOs. What are you getting?
Which one do you want?
I like
grab whatever you want.
Traditional barbecue.
Get your traditional barbecue.
And one thing that is certain, a lot of firefighters in Florida love to grab their lunch at Publix. That was the case for my former fire department I worked for. All our firefighters enjoyed going to Publix and shopping. And if you didn't know, shopping at Publix, the firefighters paid for their groceries out of their own pocket. The county's organizations, at least for the county I worked in, do not provide that. So they pitch in for, they put a pot in and they go to Publix and they buy the groceries for their shift. Publix. All right, folks, not too far from the Publix, actually off of 17, we've come to this park.
Yeah, check it out. They're getting ready to do like skiing over there.
Wow.
This is where the Cypress Garden ski team does their shows and stuff.
That's neat. So this is Lake Silver and this is MLK Park. We thought we'd eat our pub subs over here and watch the boats. Good idea. Look at this. Whoa. Oh. I hope they, yeah, I won't edit that out, but they'll probably never watch it.
Oh, look.
Oh, check it out. That is super cool. I hope they're
Water
okay.
ski capital of the world.
That's right, Winter Haven.
Yep.
All right, we found this picnic table. Not too much bird poop on it. Should be good.
That is? I thought that was paint.
Yeah, it's paint. Don't lick it though. All right, look at this view. We're gonna eat our pub subs, watch some water skiing. Thanks for the chips.
Got your chips.
To the BOGOs. Greg got the chips. Also, I didn't grab napkins, but I had some in my car.
Oh, good.
Just in case.
Yeah, I have a spare as well.
Okay, good. All right, here's my goods. I got the pub sub, the buffalo chicken tenders. I added provolone cheese, banana peppers, and a spicy mayo. Yes, I like my sandwiches with a little kick to them. Sometimes a lot.
That's a spicy meatball.
Did you get a meatball sub?
No, it's turkey. But you said spicy, so it just makes me think of spicy meatball.
I think of that too.
I gotta eat like this now because
I'm
not gonna
I
be in
forgot
the
my
frame.
stand. I forgot everything. There we go.
You have to fire up your phone.
All right, I already took the first bite.
Okay.
It's such a great sub. What'd you get again?
Turkey.
Turkey.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll always do the turkey because I'm a turkey. You know, that's what they say.
All right, we've just been sitting here chatting it up. Greg's filming a little video, getting some footage, and we're watching these boats. A whole crew here about ready to take off. All right, here they go. I think of the scene from Great Outdoors and Jaws. Yeah, look, they're waving. That's cool. Look, they're doing the pyramid. Whoa.
I'd be terrified to be at the top of that thing.
That's cool.
Wow.
We just found like the best picnic spot in all of Central Florida, in my opinion. This is a great spot, man. Good suggestion.
Yeah. Who knew they would be actually out here practicing?
We got lucky. I don't believe in luck. All right, we came down to the dock. They got the boat launch here. It's a beautiful spot right here in Winter Haven. Reminds me of Lakeland with all the lakes. Got an egret. He's like, I don't know what they're doing on those boats out there, man, but that's crazy. Look at this. The water skiing capital of the world. All right, folks, so I wrapped up things with Greg. That was a great time. We hung out at the park for a little bit more. We chatted it up. He was filming some stuff for his channel. Again, check out the link in the description below. Greg's Game Room / Adventures by George. Yeah, I'll put both links so you can check him out. Such a great friend. Thanks, Greg. That made my day. I'm glad he was able to come out on such short notice. But anytime I ever said I was going to go through Winter Haven, I got to call one of my best friends in the world. So shout out to him. So as you can see, I'm at another park. This is actually Highway 92. We are in between like Auburndale and Lakeland, heading back towards the Tampa Bay area. This is actually called Saddle Creek Park and Campground. There's a campground in the back, but this is a Polk County Park, and it looks like there's a bunch of people out here fishing. I'm gonna approach this embankment. There could be an alligator out here. This looks like it'd be a good pond to bass fish. You never know what might be down here. Ooh. Specifically, Lakeland has some big alligators. Who remembers that video? I don't see any. Kind of disappointed. I wanted to see one. Oh, they're out there. Trust me, they're out there. They're just hiding. And you know what? I'm going to end the video. Thank you so much for watching another episode. I heard something that scared me. Another episode of Florida Roadside Attractions and Abandoned Places. I hope you liked it. Please check out my playlist on the main page of my YouTube channel if you want to see more videos like this one. Also, if you subscribe to that playlist, you will get a double notification of the update to the series. I look forward to updating this series, even though I will be moving away from Florida, just recently announced. I will be back to update this series. I will always be down in Florida. So almost not every time, but every other time, I will be sure to update this series. There is so much Florida that we have not seen. And I'm never gonna stop doing this, and I'll always be coming back in Florida. It's some of my most favorite content to create. And I really appreciate you guys being here, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you so much. Again, can't thank you enough. All right, know you're awesome, know you're loved. No matter who you are or what you're going through, just know that there's always much ahead. Love you guys. See you next time. Bye-bye.